Everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I am going to be drawing and painting the King's Carriage from the Trooping of the Colour, which I watched yesterday and absolutely loved. I'm just getting some music up on my other stream. Hang on just a second. Just got to pop up some music for myself to listen to. Just bear with me a second. Sorry guys. Log in. Bear. My grumpy dog. So go music and go classical and go genres and go, let's go orchestral and just play. Okay, so I've got that in the background now, hopefully. Yep, there we go. Okay, so I am going to draw the horses from Trooping of the Colour. It's King's Carriage. So I'm going to start with the horse that's the furthest in the distance. Sorry, I'm just going to get the shapes in where I want them, and then I'll adjust with finer detail as I go. Just going to draw the basic shapes, get the sizes right, and then I'll adjust everything. So they're going to look a bit wonky for a minute or two, but then they'll be fine. Let's wait until I get, so the head and the neck are the same sort of length. This one has a rider on it. His chest comes down about there. And he's got his full harness. The ears at prick, they're very alert, which was really lovely. Looking at all the goings on, he's got his blinkers on that side. His bridle comes down there. Like that. You can't see the bottom of his chin. What sort of bits have they got? They've got palums. So, which is a type of bit. He's got quite a lovely noseband. I can see his head needs to be a fraction wider, like that. You can see the other blinker on that side. I can see his one eye. Oops. I need to change the angle of that to about there and erase this. I'm doing this on smooth watercolor paper too because I like smooth paper. I come around there like that. He's got a brow band coming along here with a beautiful pendant coming over the top. Oops. Comes down between the eyes of the horse like that. And then he's got his chest, well, they call this a yoke. He's got the yoke coming around his neck. Like that. And this one's got a rider on him. Now, I've got to check now the length of his legs. So the length of his head is the same length as to the top of his knee. And then a little bit less to the foot. Because the lower part of the leg is shorter. So pop that on. He's got his leg, that leg's actually back more. I've got that too far forward, but I just measured it sort of to get it where I wanted it. I can erase that like that. And then this other leg comes forward. So the length of his head is the length of the top of his leg to his knee, and then a little bit less for the bottom part of his leg. Alright, and that disappears off behind that other front leg. Then he's got this front leg comes forward. Knees are the same height. They're beautifully groomed, these horses. His coat is so smooth. So incredibly smooth, this horse. Alright, that's that. And then that leg comes forward in front of that one. I can adjust a little bit in a little while. Then, oops, I there's another horse here. Now this is going to be quite complex to do. So here's the rider. His shoulders are just above. He's got beautiful, beautiful medals and regalia on. Gorgeous. And his shoulders are about the width of his head wide. He's going to look a bit blocky for a second until I get him blocked, like basically sketched in. Then I will change proportions and soften him up a bit so he doesn't look quite so square. Like that. His jacket comes up to there like that. I can see he's got beautiful buttons on his tunic. Now his head, I was just going to draw a rough shape. Not going to worry about detail on this dude's face. I'm just going to get a rough shape in. And his head and his shoulders are the same length, so I've got to do his head about the same height. He's wearing a top cap, a riding cap, so I pop that on like that. Like that. Alright, then he's got a collar that comes up here like that. Okay. Now the second horse, his head's a fraction lower. So I took this as a screenshot from watching the show, watching the trooping. This one's looking at us. So his head is the same. They're beautifully matched, these horses. So his head is the same length as the first horse. I'm just going to draw the basic shape. I hope I've got enough paper left to fit the carriage, but we'll see. So he's sort of looking at us, this one, and you can, his ears come across that fella that's riding the first horse. You can see the yoke on this one. You can see more of this one's neck at the side. Like that. They're the same height. They're perfectly matched. So I'll draw, and this one's got his leg a little bit bent at the front. So I'll do that. I can use the other horse to measure his joints. So his knees, got them the same length. He's about the same length. Then I'll draw he's like, this one's sort of, they're turning sort of towards us a little bit, so slightly facing us. Draw the blinker on this side. These are called blinkers, and they stop the horses from, because horses' vision is mainly to the side and behind. So these stop them from getting scared of anything around them because there's so much going on. So the blinkers only give them a little bit of vision to the front, so they can't see any of the scary things going on around them. Alright, he's got his pendant coming down there. Like that. Got to change the angle of his neck a little bit. Alright. Then, noseband. Coming around here. I can see more of this one's eyes. More of this eye on this side because his head's turned towards us. I've got to lengthen his nose a little bit. For his nostrils. I haven't done this one's nostrils yet. I'll draw them on now. So I'm sort of happy with the size and shape. And then his muzzle, his nose, like that. Alright. Draw the collar on this little one. They're not little, they're actually quite large horses, because you look at that fella, the fella that's sitting on him is probably about 6 feet tall. So they're quite large horses. I watched the drummer horse. I'm going to have to do a painting of the drummer horses too, because they were just beautiful. And I love a draft horse, a Shire. I love Shire horses. They're my favourite breed of all the breeds, I think. So then, I'm looking at the picture, which was a screenshot. So it's a little bit fuzzy because it's of a video. So it's just a still of a video. I can only see the edge of that horse's bit, and they're greys too, so this will be fun because I'm doing them in watercolour. He's got his saddle cloth. Now his head and his body, because he's going sort of back into the distance, head and his body are around about the same distance, same length. So I can just wiggle that in, get the basic shapes of the body coming down there. And I can adjust a little bit if I need to. Again, use the other horse as a reference for the length of the leg, because they're basically the same height horses. Like that. His rump comes over there. His saddle blanket has got a beautiful taper to it with all the royal colours on. I've got to draw this leg coming down here, shape of the back leg. Then I'll have to attempt the carriage. I really struggle to draw wheels. I can draw horses, but I cannot draw a wheel to save myself. Bizarrely, I struggle with wheels. But I thought, I love this reference, so I thought I've got to try. I have got to try. Okay, so draw this leg coming down. So the bottom of the leg is slightly shorter. This is called the cannon on the horse. Slightly shorter than the top of the leg. Then got beautiful hooves, these horses. They're well manicured. My husband and daughter are farriers, so they trim horses' feet and take care of their feet. So I know horses' feet quite well. Alright, having a look. Put that in there. Alright, now there's a harness coming around here, like that. Then the surcingle comes under there, onto the tummy, and there's a cinch and a girth there, like that. Then there's the bit of harness goes over the rump. It's called a crupper, which stops everything from slipping forward and slipping backwards. The saddle blanket comes up a bit more. I'm going to straighten up his back a bit. I've got him a bit sway backed. I don't want that. Okay. Then he's got, I don't even know what this thing's called, but the part that goes to the cart, or to the carriage. It's not a cart, it's a carriage. It's a beautiful carriage. Comes down there like that. Like that. This one has a saddle, so I can only just see part of this guy's leg, and his boots come just below the horse's belly. So they're like that, and I can see this other leg over here, and his top boot, and his shoe in a stirrup. I'll draw the stirrup, and his toe coming out there, like that. Having a quick look. Okay, then this leg, this hind leg on this horse, got to drop that hock a bit. So he's taking a step. Like that. I haven't done this one's feet at all. I'm going to draw them in now, actually. Get them in. And I might even try and draw a bit of the castle in the background, because why not? Okay. And you can just see this one's back leg about there. And his other back leg is coming across there. You can only just see the angle of it. I'm just going to change that a bit, actually. That's alright. So that doesn't matter, because it's just in the background. So that's his back legs. Draw his pastern, his hoof. Now, okay, so, and then this leg is got one a bit behind. Like that, that's his hock. Draw that fetlock, pastern, and then this hoof. Like that. There we go. So that's them pretty much sketched in. Now, I'll do more detail on the drawing because there's so much going on. There's a lot of detail. There's a lot of detail on these. Okay. But that was part of the challenge, part of the fun, hey? Part of the fun was going to get the detail in. He's got all his medals across his chest. I can't see how there's a lot. 1, 2, 3. He's got 4 medals. There we go. He's got a beautiful tunic with all the gold braid on it. I'm not going to worry about his facial details at all. I'm just going to mark them in gently, just as a... I'll shadow them. I'm not going to worry about detail. Because the focus really is on the horses and the carriage. And this is the king's carriage. I had a much more complex reference that I was going to do, which I still might do because I was totally inspired watching this. This beautiful white tail on this horse is so clean. They are so sparkly clean. I've got to draw the detail. I'll worry about the detail on the rest of it in a minute. I'm going to draw the carriage now, and the carriage comes... Excuse my dog, he's barking in the background because the washing machine's going. I'm just going to have to move my dog. Hang on. Come on, Bear Bear. Out you come. Out you come. You don't be barking at the washing machine. It's not going to hurt us. Silly little sausage. Alright. You stay here with me, Bear Bear. Now, I'll put my pencil down. Where did I put my pencil? Is that it? That's it. Okay, so now the carriage is the width from the head, top of the head to the shoulder, the same distance. So the carriage is that wide, the front of the carriage, that's the width. I use the horses, I measure everything against everything else. So yeah, from that to there, it's the same distance for the horse's head. From the horse's top of the horse's head to the chest is the width of the carriage. So, and I actually had a replica of this carriage for my wedding, which was really lovely. And now the height, whoops a daisy, the height is the same as the height to the chest. So there you go. So that the carriages are quite well balanced in proportion with the horses, which is something I'd never really noticed before. And now the width of the carriage, like as it's disappearing off into the distance, is about half the length of the front because it's sort of going off into the background. And then we've got the footman behind, which I'll have to try and draw the footman. Not quite sure how that's going to go, but we'll see. Alright, so draw this in. Get the window. And these carriages don't have a driver as such. This gentleman is holding the reins for both horses, which is quite amazing. These horses are so beautifully trained, so well mannered, such lovely animals. Alright, so now draw this window's a little bit bigger, fraction, bigger than the front window. Then there's the middle. I'm going to have to make this a fraction bigger. Like that, fraction bigger, and then the window behind, in front of the pair of footmen, it's a bit smaller, like that. So try and keep everything in perspective. Now, this is the hard part, getting to the wheels. Oh my word, I'm a bit intimidated by wheels, I have to say. There's all beautiful decoration around the top of this carriage. I'm just going to scribble that in. Oh, and there's a crown on top because it's... Oh, I didn't notice that before. Okay, there's a crown on top, so I'll draw that as well because why not? Because I better, because that's all part and parcel, isn't it? Wow, it's really quite beautiful. Now, because when I'm drawing it, I'm looking at the detail more intently. So it's fascinating to see how much detail is on the top of this thing. It's gorgeous. Alright, now I can see the inside, there's shadows in there going to the back of the Queen's in there. Now about here is the crown in the middle. Then, so the outside of the carriage actually is like a replica of the round part of the crown. That's a bit fascinating. Like this part of the crown is like the decoration around the edge. There you go. And then it's the top of the crown. Okay. Queen Camilla's in the back. King Charles, I can't see him through the lantern because there's a lantern on the front of the carriage. Okay, now get to the scary bit, the wheels. The rest of it I'm not worried about. Oh my god, excuse my dog, sorry. He's protecting me from the washing machine. Okay, so I've got footmen. It's probably the correct grammar is two footmen. They're not footmen, two footmen. Okay, and their heads are just about the same height. Just about. I'm sure. Draw the head in. They're wearing top hats, the footmen. Excuse me, Bear. Hang on just a second. I'm just going to pop the dog out. Come on, Bear. I'm going to pop you out. Pop you out with the other doggies. You go out with Bear and Pippi and Bibby and Doodoo. Okay, there you go. Okay. There we go. Now the doggies are all together down in the lounge room. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, guys. So, now these guys are wearing a top hat. So I'll just get the basic shapes in and then I'll adjust. They've got beautiful gold banding on their hat. I'll change this a little bit because this guy's got quite a robust face. Big collar. This one's a little bit less visible. Just get the shapes in and I can adjust everything else later because I'm not happy with the shape I've got of those yet, but I'm just going to get the shapes in like that. That's the two footmen, and then these guys are wearing pink coats. They're called pink coats. Okay, his arms come down here, and he's holding the back of the carriage. I've got to change this guy's hat. His top hat is not looking right. So I'm just going to erase that little bit on both of those hats, and I'll fix that up in a minute. Okay. Their shoulders, so their head and their shoulders are the same width. Proportionally. Like that. You can't really see his other shoulder. You can see the cuff on this gentleman's jacket. Like that. There's a lamp here, so you can't see him. I'll draw the lamps in. Okay, and they're beautiful box lanterns. They're like that. Like that. Okay, having another look. I can't see whether they're standing or sitting. I think they're sitting. But the wheel's in the way. So now, I'm going to try the wheel. Okay, now this wheel is tall. Forget what it is and think about the shape. Because I'm paranoid. I'm terrified of wheels. It's funny how you get phobias about drawing different things. And my fear of drawing things is wheels. I hate them. So you got to do. The more you hate them, the more you got to do them. Because that's the only way you get better at things. Okay, so they're really big wheels on the back and littler wheels on the front. So just got to, and because they're going into the distance, they're not quite round. I've already got that wrong. Readjust. Have it erased. The wheel will take the horses I got in one go. The wheel will take me a couple of goes. Okay. Got to bring that shape forward a bit, like that. I'm just going to draw the shape. I'm not going to worry about the detail on them yet. Now, these wheels, the front, adjust the middle of the wheel's about the height, the centre of the... Okay. It's almost just a little bit over half the height of the back wheel. Like that. Whew. All right. Now I can see the other wheel behind this. There's so much going on this cart. Maybe this was a tough picture to do, but you know what? I love a challenge. So, like that. That's the door. Then there's line that comes along there. This is like a big scoop across the front. The king's in the back here. I'll just draw his shape. I can just see his hat. He's wearing his regimental hat. Like that. Can't really see any detail of him, so I'm just going to suggest his shape. Like that. And then Camilla, I can see Camilla's hat, so I'll draw the shape of her hat in. That's it. Just so to suggest it's a lady, and she's got her hair down, I think. I think her hair was down. And then her top goes like that. And then there's a lantern here. So the lantern comes in to block the rest of that view. And this one's more of a crystal lantern. It's amazing. It's more see-through than the... It's beautiful. It's got the same top on it, but it's a much more clear glass type of lantern. Alright, I can see the other wheel comes behind here. Oops. You can only see a part of it behind the horse there. There's all of the gear that runs between the wheels and everything is there. Now I'm going to attempt to draw the spokes and the hub of the wheels like that. Just get the middle parts in. And now the hub on that one is a bit higher because it's obviously a bigger wheel. Alright. And they're beautiful. That's why I thought I would do this one in watercolour, because the colours are gorgeous on this. They really are gorgeous. It might take me a couple of goes to get the shape of the wheels and everything right. But they're not too bad. Not too bad. And the amount of spokes. So there's a hub here that the spokes come off. So I can see one coming down there. So there's like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 16 spokes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. I can readjust those as I need to. 6, 7, 8. Okay, there we go. So I've got basically the right amount, and then I'll just disappear these ones off into the distance to behind. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the 8th one's the middle. There we go. And the same on these little ones. They're 8 spokes, so we do the top and the bottom. And then 1, whoops, not so big, 2, 3, 1, change that one a bit, got it too thick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ooh, a bit more, a bit lower, a bit less, a bit thinner, 6, 7, and then the 8th one is the straight down one. There we go. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, 5, 6, 7. There we go. So we've got the right amount of spokes. There's a step here, comes in there, so that people can get in and out comfortably. There's a handle on the middle of this door here, like that. Then I can see the other wheel behind. Oh, actually, no, it's a bit forward, so it's about here. So I'm just going to suggest that. I don't need to do all the detail on that. I just need to suggest it. And the front wheel disappears off behind these two horses. So I'll just draw it the same height-ish, like that. Erase all these silly other lines that I've got in there where I've sort of fiddled and fussed to try and get it right. There we go. Like that. Because that wheel is quite in front of the front of the carriage. So I'll do that. And then, so I'll be able to see one. Can I see the inner hub? There's a the axle that comes across here. So I'm drawing the axle. And then the spokes come up off the axle. Can't see much else there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, oh, 4. 1, 2, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's suggesting that wheel in the background there as well. This is just one big window. And I've got to draw this scoop comes right out here. So now next to Queen Camilla, her hat is another window. You can just see the shape of it. And then the door on that side. Right, like that. So that's all in shadow. Now there is, I'm going to draw the ground behind them. And then, because this is just as they've come out of the gates, so there's all of the fence behind them. I'll draw that in. I'm going to draw it all, because why not? And they're just almost as tall as the men with the top hats, the footmen. So I'll draw the fence in. I'm going to draw the buildings as well, because why not? Because I'm a glutton for punishment. And I'm sort of, do I watercolour it or do I just ink it? You know what? I might even just dip pen and ink it. And I'm doing about a finger space between each of the posts. About a finger space. And you can see those through the carriage. Just to try and keep them with some kind of symmetry distance-wise. And you can see I don't use rulers and things. I draw freehand a lot. I prefer to draw freehand. There's one behind him, you won't even see it. There's one behind the horse there. I might just have to draw this dip pen and ink. I think that would be fun. And then there. And then there's lines coming across as well. Like that. They're not all exactly the same distance apart, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, and then down lower, there's a run of fence like that. I can draw underneath, you can see the bottoms of them. So there's a run there, and then there's another little fence bit with a spike on it, like a little speary bit there, like that. It's just decorative and it's part of the front fence of the castle. Okay, and then at about the horse's eye level, there is another run of fence, a cross member that comes across like that, and follow that around like that. You can't see them at the back of the horse. Okay, so like that, and then second one about there, like that, and take that all the way along like that. Don't know whether I want to do watercolour or not. Okay, do that, and then in the centre of these is a smaller one with a decorator panel thing there, little emblem of some kind. Works on every member thing. It's really quite elaborate and beautiful. Like that. Okay, and then the tops of the fleur-de-lis. So we've got like that. And it is on every single. I'm just going to draw the shape first, and then they look like bananas. They look like bananas, but that's okay. Not to worry. Could be worse. Okay. They look like peeled bananas, but they're fleur-de-lis, so we're good. Little rocket ships. And they're gold. They're just gorgeous, really. Just patiently work my way around the drawing. It's really hard to try and keep them the same, like symmetry, like the same. I'm just gonna draw myself a little line so I can. I'm just gonna draw the outer shapes, get them all right, then everything else will happen. Like that. Get them the same height. Forget the rest. Like that. And then I'll draw the other bit. So there, about that height. Goodness gracious. Okay. Taking a bit of concentration. Just a little. Just a little. Get that on and around there. So yeah, if anyone else watched, just pop it in chat. I thought it was the most magnificent thing to watch. It was so wonderful to see Princess Catherine looking so well and wonderful, and her gorgeous babies. So it was lovely to watch. It was like 3 in the morning here, ish. So I woke up and just turned it on and started watching. And I'm glad I did, because it was monumental and amazing and all of those things. They look like they're getting closer in the distance because the perspective changes slightly. Oops. Like that. One behind him. Behind him. There we go. Okay. Now I can draw the rest of the fleur-de-lis on there. So then that's better. Now I figured out how to draw them. I've got to draw the actual bit that comes down the middle. They look even more like a banana. It doesn't matter. Like that. Because it is a drawing. It's not exact. My dog's being a complete little sookie la la. I can hear him down the hallway wanting to come back in, but all he's going to do is bark at the washing machine. Alright. Okay. Just drawing the rest of these fleur-de-lis. You've got to be patient. I'm still trying to decide in my head whether I do watercolour or ink. Undecided. But it's looking alright. I'm happy with it. So far, so good. As far as a sketch goes, it's reasonable. I do love ink though. I could always watercolour over the top. Couldn't I? I could. Okay. Okay, and then the castle is behind. So, the castle, there's an arch about level with this gentleman's head. There. You see that going off into the distance? And then there's, whoops-a-days, the bricks that come around like that, and then the wall. I'm not using a ruler, I'm just going to freehand it, and it's a bit wonky, it's not the end of the world. And then take that line across there, that line across there. Whoops-a-days. Doesn't matter if it's wonky. Alright. This is all in shadow. There are horses coming out of here. I'm not going to worry about them. There's just too much going on to worry about drawing the horses that are inside there. Just going to draw in these lines. Ooh, wiggly wobbly, wiggly wobbly. Draw some more in there. Just suggest them. Carefully. I've got to draw the other door on there. The other door jamb, because you see the reflections through the glass, the brick lines. Then that's all in shadow. Okay. Okay. Now I am going to go over this in ink. I'm going to grab my dip bowl, if I can remember where I put it, because that would be how I roll. I was going to do watercolour, but I'm feeling ink. I'm definitely feeling ink. So grab my ink. Got my beautiful ink pots here. Just got to grab my ink bowl. Where did I put you, ink bowl? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? It'll be up here. Hang on, I've got another one I can use. What did I do with it? I'll use this. I'll just use the top of this, my little flower bowl. Grab my dip pen. Yep. Where's my dip pen? I've put all the things away, and I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have put anything away, because when I put things away, I'll lose them. Where's my dip pen? Is it in this one? Nope. Here, dip pen, dip pen, dip pen. It's not in that bowl. Where's my dip pen? Oh, you think I'd be organised, wouldn't you? But no. Not how I roll, apparently. It's not on my table. Or is it? No, not on my table. On my desk. Oop. Where's my dip pen? Oh, oops. Okay, hang on. Sorry, peeps. I've got to find my bloody dip pen. I wouldn't have put it over there, because everything lives here. It cannot be anywhere except this table. Maybe the pencil case. Maybe I put it in the pencil case, because why would I do that? Because that's how I roll. Oh, there it is. Found it. It's all right. Nothing to see here, people. Got it. Okay. Whew. Found it. So, pop some ink into my well. And I'll start left to right and work my way forward. Because otherwise, I'm going to end up with my hand in the ink. And that would be just a pain in the bottom. So we really don't want to do that. So, I get my dip pen nice and inky. And then we just pretty much retrace all of the detail. On the picture. And then when it's dry, I can erase all the pencil lines and it'll be beautiful, I hope. Unless something goes terribly wrong and I dip my hand in things and make it all splotchy, which is also a possibility with me. I can see what I haven't done here. I haven't drawn the pendant things in the middle. And it's actually quite nice to draw this with a bit of classical music in the background. Like that. Alright. And I will do a watercolour wash over the top. Okay, now I'm going to carefully, there's a window there I've just seen. There's a horseshoe here, which I'm going to draw in. It's a horseshoe shaped alcove in there, which I can draw in like that. And that comes around like this. Ooh, doesn't matter if it's a bit wonky, because it is a drawing. Like that. There's a shadow in there, which I'm not going to worry about so much just yet. Then there's a little square alcove window here with a beautiful little stained glass kind of a window in it. So I'll draw that in. And I think I'm leaning towards ink for this because traditional, like ink, it's just beautiful, it's simple, it's not fussy. Yeah, it's very traditional, like art from this kind of pageantry should be. Alright, so that's the little stained glass. I can't see this side of it, not all of it anyway, like that. And then the rest of it disappears off up the top, like that. Then there's just the rim that disappears off to the side there. And I've got these bits of the wall. Beautiful stonework on this wall, I have to say. It's a massive stone on the palace. Massive carved stone. I've never really looked up close at it until I'm drawing it now, so it's fascinating. It's got to change these lines of fraction, which is fine. Like that. And I'll create the shadows on those in a mini. I'm just concentrating on trying. I'm just resting my hand on the drawing, erasing the horses as I go with my hand. I've been loving drawing architecture recently, so it's fun to add a bit of architecture with my animals, because I mainly draw animals and wildlife. I've been getting into a bit more structural art, architectural drawings of buildings and things, and been really enjoying the detail. So it's given me the confidence to have a go at a bit more detail in my artwork. Okay. Now, top hats are going to be hard. You know, it's bizarre to think that little things can be harder to draw than the bigger spaces, the bigger things. They can be more of a struggle. Not sure why that is, but that's how it works in my Jenny brain. Sometimes. Not very logical, but that's how I roll. Okay, so work my way forward to behind the footman. Come down. And then you can see the brick wall coming down here, the lines in the bricks. Stone, not bricks. Beautiful stone. Then, okay, so I'll work my way into the wheel. So I'll add more detail now as well. Try and be as smooth as I can in my lines. And I'm using Archer's hot press watercolour paper because if I want to do washes over the top, it handles water the best of anything. And I like smooth because when I'm drawing a detailed drawing, I don't want the texture getting in the way. And textured paper annoys me, especially for drawing. But this paper is, you know, it's beautiful quality. It's quite expensive, but it is definitely worth the extra bit it costs. Now draw the rubber on the wheel. And I'll do ink washes over the top as well. Or I might do watercolour instead of ink. Just get the main detail drawn in with ink. Then the hub of the wheel. Like that. Now, the innards of the spokes, and I can refine them a bit more now so they're not so cumbersome looking. Might round off the bottoms of them a little. Change the angle slightly on that one. That looks a bit better. And I'm not one of these ones that turns the paper. I tend to draw everything flat. Like I don't turn my picture to draw. I don't know why. I watch a lot of other artists. Everyone's got their own technique, I suppose. 1, 2. But yeah, I can't draw turning paper and stuff. I have to draw it all as it sits. Don't know why. How I roll. Okay. Like that. Alright. Just got to be patient. And it starts to come to life. It doesn't take much, and then it starts to finally, once you start getting ink on the paper, it really starts to pop. And I love that. Oops. Doesn't matter, that's a bit wonky there. There we go. And these spokes are red, so 1, 2, 3. There we go. So that's the back wheel on. We have a wheel, people. We have a wheel. Okay, the lantern. It has 3 little peaks on it. 2 little peaks and a ball. The top like that. And then little square, and then goes off to a box like that. They are beautiful, these little lanterns. I've seen them in antique shops. They're gorgeous. I've got one off a tram, but it's more rounded than this, that I inherited from my dad. That was his parents. Off an old horse-drawn tram, and when we had them in Melbourne way back in the day. Now, top hat. I'm going to draw this dude's top hat. Carefully. Because once it's on in ink, there's no adjusting. It's the band around it. Then they've got a slight tapered top. Like that. There we go. One top hat. And the gentlemen are perfectly manicured. You can just see his ear there. Not going to worry about facial details particularly. I'm just going to suggest facial details, and I'll just shadow the rest. He's got cravat, comes down there. Okay. There we go. Gives him a bit of an expression, sort of. Then he's got his collar, comes down. His hat is black. His collar comes down, his shirt, or his pink coat. I need to make his face a bit wider. That's okay. I can do that. Alright, having a look. I'll ink wash his face a little bit to make it look a bit less strange. That's okay. The focus is not on the men anyway, it's on the carriage. So that'll sort of disappear off into insignificance. In a minute, there's his cuff. I can see a couple of the beautiful buttons on his jacket. Back of his head. Give him some hair. Just going to colour in, ink in the top hat. Because it's beautiful. And black. Like that. Comes around the back of his head. And around the front a little bit. Give it a bit of a rim. There we go. I'm going to get my watercolour brush while that's still a little bit damp. Where's my watercolour brush? My little one. I had it here. There it is. Just going to carefully, while that's still wet, just drag that and then blot it with my bit of paper. And then blot it just to create a bit of shadow on his face. Alright, back to the drawing. Okay, next footman. Actually, I'll draw this little fleur-de-lis in. It's in there. Then there's the bally thing. It comes down behind him. Okay. Having a look. They're pretty much a mirror of each other, so draw the band on his top hat. Like that. You've got a slight turned out shape at the top. Just going to fill in that like that. So the hats have got the contrast. His face is even less visible. Give me a bit of hair there. His cravat comes down here under his jacket. The collar. Like that. Okay. Yes, people are not my forte, Surprise, surprise. So I'm just going to do that, like that, just to suggest his face. Like that. He actually looks better than the first one, and I'll get my watercolour brush while it's still a little bit damp and pop some shadowy bits in just around his face. Sort of smudge it out a bit like that. There we go. Blot. Blot. So I just added a bit of water just to drag that ink around and then blot it. Right. Now, carriage. So we're moving our way forward on the drawing. Always working away from your hand so you don't put your hand in the ink, which I do quite a lot. Okay, there's one there. I'm not going to worry about that next one. Alright, so this is the crown. It's on top of the carriage. It's quite beautiful. Little stand on there, like that. Then I'm going to draw the top of the carriage. Like that. And I can start to draw the little bits of detail in too now. So there's gold trimming and all kinds of fun things. It's a part I love about drawing, is looking for the little details. The little bits of trimming. I will go over this with watercolour because I can. And then I can't see, because it's a screenshot off a video, I can't see the actual pattern on the top of the carriage, so I'm just going to draw what I think it is. Hear my dog trying to get in again? Okay, so that's the pattern on that part of the carriage. Then that gent's hand goes down behind that part of the carriage there. Then there's the window. Like that. Okay. Having a quick look. Get the inside of that window, which is the door. Come down like that. And then come to the front window. Like that. Just trying to be patient here. Draw Queen Camilla's. She's not really clear. You can see her hat. She looks quite beautiful. She's got her hair down. And her hair, it's like that. I can't see the top of her hat. It's going to make her look like a woman. I can't really make her look like she's. I'll just make her look feminine, like that. And then King Charles, you can only see the back of his hat. His regimental hat, like that. I really can't see him. So I'm just going to draw the back of his head like that. And then he's sitting in there. I'll just put shadows for him. He's got his regimental dress on. And he's sitting in there. Can't see the seat. But suggest him in there. There we go. Like that. Okay, and I'll just shadow those in. Alright, now there's a handle on the door there like that. Oh my gosh, I have a cup of coffee. I don't even know what I've done with it. I think I forgot my cup of coffee. I just thought, oh, I could go with the coffee right now, but oh well. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now these guys, they're pink coats. They've got tails. Beautiful jackets. Can't see the back of the carriage there. Sort of all disappears off down. Is the king's, the emblem on the carriage, the royal arms. Just going to draw this down there like that. Come across here. Right, excuse my dog barking. Now he's barking at kangaroos because we've got a ton of kangaroos. I'm just going to draw the sort of shape of what I can see. Looks like a beautiful emblem of some kind. Like that. Not going to worry about the detail on it because it's not visible to me. Then, up here looks like a breaky kind of thing. It comes down and around and back to the carriage. Like that. Or it's the springs maybe. The springs that support everything. Like that. Yeah, and then that goes to the horse's harness. Like that. And that comes there. There's a strap here. Alright. Again, I'm going to come down and around, finish this line here. Come around. Then there's the axle from that wheel. I can't see it going, the hub going around the inside there like that. Like that, and then there's the axle that comes along there. That is the step. Holy dooly, there's a lot of detail. Okay, I'm going to do this wheel. And the shadows are going to be fun. Alright. Around, because there's actually this photo has got beautiful shadows. So, because it was quite a windy, rainy old day in Blighty when the trooping happened. So there was lots of contrast, which was really good. Like it's grey, but there's good shadow. Okay. Now, I'm going to draw another little line just within that line. Woohoo! Like that. Down and around. Okay, then the hub. Little wheel. Then that. Then same, I just count. I can refine these hubs, these spokes a little bit now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, like that. And 1, 3. There we go. Those wheels turned out better than I thought they would. Now I can do this other lamp. Same, it mirrors the first one. It is slightly different in that it has a more of a glassy, but you know what, you're not even going to see that with the ink, so I'm just going to draw it pretty much as the other one, like that. Like that, and that fits onto there. Okay. Now there's the front of the cab. It's there, and then draw this window. This is one window with a beautiful gold trim across the top. Then this is all dark. Beautiful black carriage. I can come around here behind the horses like that. The rest of the inside is shadow, so I'm not going to draw that in as hard as I had it in pencil lines. I'm just going to draw the pattern around the top of the cab like that, and the rest I'll shade, or I might draw it very delicately in, just suggest it as a shadow almost. Like that. There we go. That'll do. Okay. Moving on to now I can do these fleur-de-lis. I'll erase any pencil lines at the end. Like that. And they're not equidistant. I haven't done them because I didn't measure. I just sort of guesstimated distances. They do look closer together into the distance. Oops. Come around here. I can adjust the sizes back a little bit now on the fleur-de-lis. Keep them coming along there. Now I can see the back of this wheel. Actually, I've got a drawer. No, I'm gonna work my way forward, and I'll go to the bottom. Once I've got to about here, I'll then go back down. Okay, so now, because there's detail on the front here, there's a lot of red carriage detail coming down here. The horse's tail. I'll draw the horse's tail in. Comes down in a beautiful shiny tail. Then that goes down there. There's a ton of like, I don't know, supporting structure on the carriage. I'll draw the horse's bottom and his back leg. Okay. And he's got I forgot what you call this thing, the shafts of the carriage come off the carriage and up the horse's back like that and onto the side. Then the harness attaches to the horse from there. So I'm going to draw this back leg. These horses are so beautifully groomed. Draw his pastern, his hoof, like that. There we go. And then I can work my way forward. Now there's a saddle blanket. It comes back like that. and to the horse's harness. It comes down here, attaches onto there, like that, and it comes down into a strap. It's got all the buckles on it, and that's the girth. A saddle blanket comes down. Actually, there's another strap that comes down here. Don't know what it's just all supporting stuff to. There's a big buckle on the harness there, so I'll draw that buckle in like that. And the saddle blanket comes to the front there like that. There's trim, beautiful trim on the saddle pad, so I'll draw that in. And then there's that same emblem on the back of the saddle blanket. Just rough that in like that. There we go. Okay, now back leg comes down and around here like that. Draw the hooves like that. Okay, having another look. His elbow comes back there. For his knee is a fraction lower there. Alright. Draw the hoof, the front foot. Like that. Okay, work my way up the neck, this horse. Now he's got his yoke. Comes down and around. Like that. Then there's, attaches onto the yoke. The horse's main pulling power is the chest. Like that. Like that. Then that's the breastplate, goes down there. Alright. Now draw this horse's front leg in. And his beautiful knee. Right. Draw this hoof going back off, he's sort of walking away like that. Now these ears, draw his beautiful ears looking at us. He's got his ears pricked. His beautiful forelock. And their manes are perfect. So I'll draw his mane just tucked over the side there like that. Then his brow band. Beautiful royal blue brow bands. The blinkers. And he's got his medallion. Comes, it's like a pendant decoration, which is quite lovely. I collect them. I've got a collection of them that I have put on harness. Bought them over many years. Okay. Then his bridle comes down to the side of his face like that. The nose band, he's looking at us, so his nose band's little bit off center like that. And then I can start to draw sort of features. He's got his nostrils. The bits here. He's got like a palm bit, but I'm not going to worry so much about that. Draw his muzzle. Like that. And there we have pretty much the basic sort of shapes of him in. Now his reins go up to a D there. And then the rider on this horse has got hold of them. Because I can see he's got a rein coming up there from the side of this horse, like that. Okay, now under here I can see I've got to draw behind the tail. I can see the other hub. This wheel is not as distinct. Like it sort of disappears off that horse's tail. The other horse's tail comes down like that. So you can't see all the detail of the wheel. I'll just suggest it in. Oh, I've got an itchy nose. Like that. So I'll just sort of do less heavy marks, less distinct, less defined, just to show that the wheel's there but it's not the focus. I don't want to draw the eye back to there too much. Okie doke. Like that. Oh, what's happened to my screen? Is everything working? Hang on, give it a reboot. What's happened there? Oh no, there we are. We're still there. Okay, so now I've got to go back, rest my hand. I've got to be so careful not to rest my hand on any of the wet ink. So now I've drawn most of that horse in. I'm going to work my way forward to the first horse, or to the next horse with the rider on him. Just draw the fleur-de-lis on top. And then I will go over with a watercolour wash. I've got my watercolours all out and ready. Once it's dried enough, or the ink's dried enough, that is. Because yeah, when you're doing ink, you also make sure you get water-resistant ink. Because some of them aren't, which I found in a very sad way when I've ruined a painting because I've added watercolour and it's smudged everywhere. So yeah, learn from my mistakes. Yes, always make sure you've got water-resistant ink, so you don't do what I did and ruin pieces. Okay. Now I can see that one's got there's a bar there, there's a bar there, there. Then that one comes across sort of about that height. I'll suggest it in the background there, like that, like that. Okay. It's a Kensington Palace. I think is it Kensington Palace? I think it's Kensington Palace. In the background, the beautiful fences. I was just going to draw the horses and the carriage, but then I'm like, no, do the background. Be brave. Go bold. Go bold or go home. Now I'm going to start on this first, the horse furthest away with the back leg. I can see his hock. Comes down here. Then his hoof, like that. Oops. Like that. So that's one back leg. And then I can only just see the other back leg. So I'm just going to draw the hoof like that. Just a suggestion that it's there. Now this gentleman at the front, I'd never noticed before, but he's actually got a beautiful powdered wig on under this hat too. Very traditional, very gorgeous. Under his beautiful little riding cap, he's got curly wig. He's got more of a striking sort of chin structure, so we'll draw that in. He's got his cravat here. or his stock. We call it a stock tie. Okay, having a look. I'll do the same as I did for the other two riders. I'll draw basic features. Like that, not a lot of detail at all. He's got beautiful gold regalia. On his tunic. His medals here. He's got 4 medals. They're all serving soldiers, I think. Okay, having a look. Now, the patterns on this are just gorgeous. So he's got these beautiful stripes, gold and red striped jacket, tunic. Like that. And then he's got his gloved hands. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, Cantasian. How are you? Welcome. Thank you. I hope you're all having an awesome day. So what were you guys working on? Thank you for the raid. I'll do a shout out. Hang on, shout out. Hang on, I've got to do it. Whoops. I've got to do shout out. Thank you for the raid. Shout out at Cantasian. Thank you for the follow, Bella Gamer. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Hello, Cantasian. How are you? Yaquero Taco Bell? I'm an Aussie. We don't have Taco Bell. I wish I had Taco Bell. Skittle recommended you. Oh, that's really sweet. I love Skittle. Skittle is one of my favourite streamers of all time. So thank you. So what were you working on today, Cantasian? What were you working on? So you're an artist, I'm guessing. I was almost going to do a digital art today because I find Skittle very inspiring. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. Very appreciated, Dell. Very appreciated. So yes, what were you working on? If you want to pop a link in the chat, I can share what you were doing. So I do a bit of everything. I'm Jen. Hi everyone, I'm Jen. Skittle is he is so inspiring. Oh my goodness, just fantastic. Just divine work. I was looking actually on Instagram the other day at one of the pieces he was working on, and he's just magical. Just a magical artist. What time is it for me? It is 12:13 in the afternoon on Sunday here. So yeah, it's a gorgeous day. But I've watched the Trooping of the Colour like about 3 o'clock this morning my time, and was so inspired that I just wanted to draw the horses and the carriage and capture the moment a little bit. I usually do architectural, but today I wanted to do a concept. Oh, awesome! Very cool. Future land it is. Blue, hello Blue, how are you, Dale? Thank you so much for the recommendation, Dale. And your browser froze. Yes, no, I've been having internet trouble. I actually have been having internet trouble myself today. So I'm not quite sure if it was you or me. It might have been my end. Also, this piece is lovely. Thank you. Your inking is so nice. Thank you. I love ink. I really love ink. Ink is my happy place. Ink is my happy place. And horses are one of my favourite subjects. And after watching Trooping of the Colour, it was just so beautiful. I could not help myself. I had to draw it. Had to draw a scene from it, so I literally videoed it, screenshot it, and Ink Squad, go Ink. So do you do ink, Asian? Do you do ink? What's your specialty? What do you do? I do a bit of everything. I do ink washes. I do watercolor. I do a little bit of digital. Call me Cantor. Okay, cool, Cantor. Done. Done. So if you want to share anything, Cantor, pop it in. Pop it in the link and I can show everyone. So I'm just getting some of the, oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, now I've just got to click on that. Oh, that made my other screen disappear. Hang on. Bring it up. I'm going to give you a follow. Oh, wow! I love architecture. Okay, hang on now. I've got to show, how do I share my screen? Hang on. I'm going to move this across. What have I done? Hang on. I've got to see if I do this the right way. I might do this the right way. I hope. Hang on. Just bear with me. I'm not very good at technology. And then I've got to go share left screen. Uh-oh. Have I lost my other Twitch? Hang on. I pressed a thing. Hang on. Hold that thought. Uh-oh. Hold that thought. Twitch. Go there. Then go to my thingy. Just bear with me. Bear with me. I am so terrible at tech canter. It's embarrassing. Video producer. Go there. Then go Stream Manager. And then go... Hang on, bring that over here. And then go... Hang on. No, that didn't work. No! I want to share my left screen. Hang on. How do I... I pressed a button. Oh no. Hang on. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a mess here. I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to do this. I know another way I can do this. Just hold that thought. Hello, Michael. How are you, doll? Hang on. Hold that thought. I'm going to go back and I'm going to stick that in my thing, in my Instagram. Hang on. Go Instagram. Instagram. And I'm going to pull you up on my iPad and show you that way. Because I pressed all the buttons. Oh my God, Cantor. My son-in-law always says to me, because I always fix all my things, and he's like, don't press anything. Don't touch anything. And then what do? He's like, what do you do? I touched all the buttons. So I do wreck things. So Cantasian. Cantasian. Just bear with me a second. I'm pulling up your Instagram on my... Oh, that didn't work. Hang on. Search. Cantasian. I can't spell. Cantasian. Cantasian. Okay, and then... There we go. And then, where we go. I got it. Okay, so then I'm going to pull that up here. And I'm going to do this, because this is the only way I can do it. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. I love buildings, and I love the ink washes, watercolor washes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, see, yeah, see, I love the drawing. I love seeing how people draw. Love, love, love. Gorgeous work, Cantor. Absolutely gorgeous. There are many, many buttons. There are many buttons, and I press all of them, and I do all of them the wrong way. My pleasure, Dale. I couldn't get my left screen to work, so we figured out the next best way. So how was your stream anyway, Dale? Oh, actually, I'll show you a couple. I've got a couple. Where have I put them? I do have a couple of architectural ones I've done. I'll show you, because I've only just started getting into it myself, actually. So I'll show you, get your opinion. So this is, I've been drawing some Melbourne sort of icons. So that's our Flinders Street train station with a tram out the front in Melbourne. And then I've got just a few little terrace houses. So I've been trying to get more detail in my work. What else have I got? What else? Where's the other one? Oh, I did this one. We've got a building called the Royal Exhibition Centre. So that was that one. And a place to do. I love doing plein air. I do both. Thank you. I do both. That's why I do, like, I love to go places, like I'll go to cafes and just sit in cafes and draw. And there's actually the building, there's a little one I did. A little one I did was a plein air one. Hang on, I'll find that one. It was the same one, but it was the same exhibition building, but it was a plein air one. I've got to find it. It's here in my little pile here somewhere. Oops, a daisy. Oh yeah, there we go. So that's a little plein air, slightly different angle. Just a sketch. So it's not exact. It's not, because I didn't have time to draw the fountain, so I didn't draw the fountain. But and thank you. Yeah, but I definitely do both. I drew, like today I'm working from a screenshot that I took from the Royal Procession yesterday. So I'm working from that screenshot. But my wildlife, a lot of the wildlife that I draw, I do from nature. Because I'm predominantly an animal artist. But I've just started getting into everything else. So it's good fun. Very good fun. And so what time is it for you guys? What time is it for you, Blue and Cantor? Now, he's got his rain. An animal artist? Yes. I love wildlife art. I do a lot of, like I've been doing a lot of, I love African wildlife. Predominantly like elephants, lions. I'll show you my Insta. Actually, I'll stick it in the link and you can check it out when you get a chance. So if I go socials, dot. Oh, hang on, I've got to press the right buttons. I'm terrible at this. I am terrible at this. So, socials. See if that works. There we go. So my Instagram's on there. And yeah, that shows you a range. I do a little bit of everything actually. 9:20 US Central. Nice. So not too late at all, which is good. Sunday here. I wish it was yesterday. I would like it to be yesterday. I would like to be in America right now so I still had it tomorrow and I didn't have to go to work. I love my job, but I just want to stay home. Just art. Do more art. But I might do something in the afternoon. I try to. A little bit of everything is good. Having a range of skill sets are good to have. Yes, I agree. I agree. I like to try everything. I like to give everything a go. Jack of all trades, master of none. That's me. But I adore ink. Ink is my happy place. And I love, love, love drawing. Like drawing is, I prefer, I paint, but I love drawing more. I definitely love drawing more. I'm much happier drawing. Now he's got his top boots here. I've got to be a bit careful. Oh, I didn't see that before. He's got, these horses have got a tie across the front to keep them hooked up. So who in the chat watched the trooping of the colour? Same was doing background and environment studies for a while before I got back into strictly ink. Yes, yeah, I've sort of, my heart is in ink, and I'm just so much happier with ink washes. So with your buildings, did you is that ink washes, the colour? Or do you use ink for colour, or do you use watercolour for colour? Because I've got both. I sort of sometimes I'll go watercolour, sometimes I'll go ink, to help get a little bit of colour wash. Like, so I'm sort of, this has got some beautiful red, and I might do watercolour for this, because just in parts of it, because the carriage has got some beautiful, really regal red on it. But yeah, and I've been trying to get a bit braver because I never used to do backgrounds. Ink washes, I have ink wells, but I have the brush. Fountain pen. Oh, they have converters built in it. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I've pretty much got this dip pen. I've got a couple of ornamental, like beautiful feather quill pens that I love. I haven't used, but I'll show you my quill pen. I'll show you my pride and joy. Hang on, if I can find it. Where'd I put it? There it is. I'll show you my absolute pride and joy that I haven't used, but I'll show you. Oh yeah, watercolor ink does that. If you do it right, you can make it look like watercolor. So this is my quill. Look at that. It's pewter with a beautiful green feather, and it's all like carved pewter. Isn't that gorgeous? So yeah, I bought that for myself because I just love ink and I love dip pens. Typically I like using my Muji fountain pen for the line work. Ooh, yeah, I do. Isn't it gorgeous? It's just way too pretty. It's way too beautiful. Very elegant and very traditional. And I got that, there's a place called Bendigo near us, and I got that there. And then I've got my little glass one, which I got from the same place, and it's got the blue glass with the pewter end, and it's just gorgeous. So I haven't used either of them. I just love looking at them. It's like I want to use it, but I also want to. Yes, exactly. I know that I'll squish up the feathers. The second I use it, I'm going to squish the feathers, and that'll be the end of it. And then I'll have to buy another one. I haven't. I haven't. I have a couple. I have one that's got a glass nib. That one's got it's a glass pen, but it's got a steel nib or a metal nib. But I have a glass one, but I haven't ever used it because I don't. I like a point, and it has a round end, and I like a fine point. So, but this is a Tachikawa dip pen, and it's or the handle's Tachikawa, and it is beautiful and balanced and light. Like I really enjoy using this. So I'm actually going to get another one because I've given this one a bit of a flogging. It's had a tough life. It's going to draw the stirrup leather coming down here. I want to get a glass pen, but the cheaper ones. Yes, the quality scares me, and dropping it. Yes, exactly. I know a few people who have that fancy one, twirly glass dip pen. Yes, yes. I've got. I don't even know. I actually used to. You know when you join. I used to get like Sketchbox. I did Inktober and stuff, and I joined Sketchbox, and every month they'd send me paints and drawing paper and whatever and all the little stuff, all the different bits. And one time I got a dip pen. I got a glass one, but it's got a round nib, and I don't like round nibs, so I've never used it. But they're pretty, but it's very heavy. Like, and I love the lightness of this. It's balanced. Like it holds the nib sort of doesn't fight. So the weight of the pen's not fighting against your hand. And you can draw really. They can have a lot more time. Your hand doesn't get tired doing complex drawings. With this one, it's just bamboo. I think it's bamboo. You can see it's covered in ink and paint and God knows what else because I'm very clumsy. Would the round nib release the ink thick? Yeah, I think so. I'll have to find it. I'll have to dig it out. Where would I have put it? Where would I have put it? I know I got it in a gift box. It wasn't with my good ones. So I'll have to find it. I'll have to dig it out and give it a go. But yeah, it had a little ball on the end. Huge fan of my Muji fountain pen. It's aluminium. Oh, yeah. See, weight's important. I'm a pen collector. Like I've got. It's really funny. I've got hundreds and hundreds of pens, all different kinds. And I'll show you my favourite ballpoint pen, which is ironic, is my very favourite ballpoint pen. I don't know whether you get it in America. It's a Papermate Kilometrico. It's got a kilometre's worth of ink in it. Whole kilometre worth of ink, which is half a mile worth of ink. And the line on them is gorgeous. You know how you get a really nice ink pen and it's smooth and lovely? These Kilometrico pens, Papermate Kilometrico, are amazing. Yes, that's my favourite pen ever. So I've got about 100 of those in all colours. Exactly. It's so good. But yeah, I've got a handful. I've got. Oh, what's the fountain pen I've got? It's an interesting way to measure. I know. And how are you going, Michael? Michael's an amazing watercolorist, guys. Anyone who's in chat, he's a YouTuber and a Twitch streamer. So I'll pop a shout out to Michael as well. So I'll do 2 shout outs actually. I've got to do one for. I've got 3. I'm going to do shout out. You watch me do this. I'm getting better now. I'm pressing all the buttons again. Shout out. Get rid of the N at Cantor. So everyone can check out Cantor. And then shout out to Michael. Because Michael is a beautiful watercolorist. A blue skittle. Actually, we do shout out to a blue skittle because blue is just breathtaking. One of the most fascinating digital artists I've ever seen. And shout out to where's me at? I've lost me at watercolors. Michael. There we go. Ta-da! Done. Why is my alerts not working now? Oh, no, it did work. That's okay. Okay, for a second there I thought they didn't work. My pleasure, because your work, Blue, is just inspiring. You and my friend Will, who are the reason I've tried digital, because I've seen how beautiful it can be. So, and I just love the moodiness of your work, like the beautiful your work has real feeling, and it's amazing. So now I'm going to work back onto my fleur-de-lis. Come across here. I've actually managed, I'm not going to jinx, I'm probably going to jinx myself now actually. I've managed to not get my hand resting in any of it. I don't quite know how, but I've managed to do the whole drawing so far and not rest my hand in it. I think my perspective's gone off a little bit, but oh well. Doesn't matter. And these are all gold, so I'm still trying to decide, because I'm like you, Cantor. I was checking out the window, the dogs are going bananas. We've had kangaroos right up near the house this morning. And the dogs, I had a little Joey, a little baby kangaroo, that didn't want to go back. Its mum and its dad and everyone bounced off down the paddock. And this little kangaroo didn't want to go with its mum and dad. It was staying up here. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So then it couldn't see its parents anymore. And it was really scared. It's like, oh, you poor little thing. So I had to walk down and sort of guide it down the paddock. So we've had lots of cats, because it didn't want to go on its own. So I walked down the paddock and sort of guided it down to the fence, to the boundary, so it could find its mum and dad. It was only so little too, little thing. They're so gorgeous. I just walked behind it and it bounced in front of me for a little bit. But then it saw him, so it was okay. You missed a spot? I did miss a spot. How are you? Show me. I did miss a spot. I've missed lots of spots. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, I haven't streamed in a couple of weeks. My workplace has been so busy. I've had lots of extra hours. So I've literally been going to work, coming home, going to bed. I haven't even drawn the last 2 weeks. So life's getting back to normal this week, thank goodness. So I'll be able to draw more. Doing well. Awesome. Awesome. Whoopsie-days. So yeah, this week I've got more normal hours. So I'll be able to stream in the afternoons with a bit of luck. A lot of people taking a break from streaming. I know, I've noticed that. I have noticed that. So what time is it where you are, Skittle? You're so good at calculating times. And I am a shocker. You always get my time right where I am. Is it con season? It is! So I'm doing a piece like yours with ink and watercolour. Nice! Nice, nice. Actually, I saw your piece on Instagram yesterday. If you want to pop your link in too, show me, you pop it in for your Instagram. If you want to share, I'm getting called from the studio for dinner. Oh, once again, Jen, you're doing a wonderful job. Thank you, thank you. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy your dinner. And thank you for popping in, Michael. It's always lovely. I will see you when I'm looking at you, Dal. So Michael's on YouTube and here on Twitch. And he does absolutely magnificent watercolour. Really detailed, really beautiful shadowing and stuff. Much more patient than I am. But thank you, Dal. You go, enjoy your dinner. And I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Perfect, let's have a look. I'll have to pull it up on I know I've got you on my iPad. Hang on, I know I'll follow you. So Instagram, and then I go fly by art. There we are. Okay, so I'm just going to click on that. Oh, wow, you did an aeroplane too. Awesome. So Flyby has been doing this aeroplane. Gorgeous landscapes, farm scenes. Love the aeroplane. I'm making that bigger. How do I make that bigger? Make it bigger. Oh, I need to turn it sideways maybe. Turn it sideways. Doesn't work. That is gorgeous. And you've... Oh, there we go. That is gorgeous. And Flyby is also a streamer. Where's my carriage? There's my horses. They're back. So, gorgeous work, mate. I actually did digital painting of aeroplanes the other day. Because I love aeroplanes. Love war scenes in general. Love doing these sort of scenes. Now, I've got to be a bit careful here. Whoops! My line's getting a bit wonky. Because I'm working towards the edge of the page. Doesn't matter. An aviation nerd? Yes, me too. Me too. I love Spitfires. I love, what's the other one? Oh my god, the Japanese. I've gone completely blank now. I love the bombers. Love everything. I love the ships. It's a Piper Cub. Cool. It's the first. Oh, okay, cool. Very good. You did beautifully. Beautifully. Yeah, I've done a few over the years, but mainly I do like little dog fights with Spitfire, and I love First World War. And Second World War planes. I like the new fighters and stuff, but I love they're so graceful, the old-fashioned planes, the First World War and Second War planes. Okay. Then come down here. Draw these lines down here. They are still, you can see them in the background. I think I am just going to do ink washes. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to go gold. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. You love bush planes. When you say bush planes, you mean like the ones you see in Alaska, the little ones that, like little fockers and... Okay, now there's a concrete plinth there. Concrete plinth there. When I went to Tasmania, we went in a little 6-seater. It was really cool. It was a lovely little plane. Okay, come down here. Yeah, there's a show I watch. I can't remember what it's called now. I can't remember anything at the moment, apparently. When I draw, I'm thinking about the art. Like, my mind, memories go out the window. It's really bizarre. But I can never think of words. Like, when I'm so focused on my drawing, I talk a lot, but I can't. If I have to think of something specific, I can't. My brain doesn't work that way. It's really weird. So now, I'm gonna Google because it's aeroplanes. Okay, so war, Second World War, Second World War. So, zero. I love zeros. That's what it was. The Japanese one's a zero. That gorgeous. And the Mustang. Oh my god, love Mustangs. So I'll just pick up a picture. I'll show you one of the pictures that I did on my Instagram. If I can find it. If I can find it. Where's my Instagram? Here, Instagram. There we go. Go back to me. Go back to me. Do I have a picture of it, or has I just got a video? I go there. Oh my god, I'm pressing all the buttons again. Back to me. There we go. So, whoop. So I don't know whether I can enlarge it. Whoop. Can't really enlarge it. Hang on. Top left. That one. So it's there were two little fighter planes, but then it goes off into a time lapse. So I don't want to do that to you. But yeah, it's good fun. Doing skies and clouds and stuff is great fun. Alright, so that's the sketch pretty much laid down. So now, okay, am I going to go watercolour? I'm going to go watercolour. I'm going to get my watercolour brush. I'm going to spritz my watercolour, if I can find my spritz. Don't know what I've done with it. I've moved all the things. That's fine. So I'm going to move that palette, and I'm going to bring my watercolour palette over. And we are going to start with watercolour washes. So now, the carriage is black, but I'm not going to use black. I'm going to make cobalt blue and burnt umber to make. Look, this brush does not hold any kind of ink, watercolor. I mean, actually, I suppose because I'm used to ink being such a strong tone that. Okay, so there we go. So I make my own sort of dark. I'm going to make it quite diluted. So burnt umber and blue makes a very dark grey. Go watercolour so I can learn from this piece. Cool. So, and I'm going to start, so the back's dry. I'm going to work my way around. So that's burnt umber and cobalt blue make a nearly black. And you always end up with more life in your paintings if you don't use a flat black, like a pre-mixed black. They always tend to look flat. So I try to mix my own if you can. It's always better to try and practice learning how to mix. It took me a lot of years of practice to learn how to mix colours. And I always work light to dark. So I do very thin layers for the first few layers. And then I build up as I go. And this will dry really fast actually. This will dry quite fast. Now on the background, so I'm going to do the carriage first because that's my favourite bit. The horses are grey, so I'm literally going to do shadows on the grey for blue. I'm just going to use pale blue, or cobalt probably, or cerulean maybe. Alright. Come around the front and just fill that in. I'm using a very thin silver black velvet brush because there's lots of little inny bits, like lots of little fussy bits. So if I use a bigger brush, I'm going to go over lines and make a mess, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm having a look. There's a lot of red trim, so I'm going to just do these darker bits. Chill and lurk. No worries, Cantor. Thank you so much for the raid doll. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Love your work. So I will pop a follow on your links. And actually I'm going to write that down right this second so that when I'm finished I can pop a link, pop a follow, and follow your work because I love your work, doll. Love your work. So I'm just going to find a bit of paper. I'm going to write your name down and I'm going to follow you after this. Cantasian. Done. I will find you and follow. Okay, now I can draw the tyres, and this watercolour will dry quite fast. Whoops, don't want to do that. Come over this. And just do the black trim. Because it's only the light layer as well, the red will probably show over the top of it anyway. It'll just make it more of a purpley tone because there's a lot of blue in this pigment. Okay. So use lightest values to darkest. Yes, go lightest to darkest. Always work light to dark and thinnest to thickest. It's the absolute opposite of oil painting. The absolute polar opposite. Okay. So, now the harness on these horses. I think that blanket is actually royal blue, so I'm not going to go onto the blanket. I'm just going to go onto the harness, and I'm going to leave the white of the paper as the buckles, the silver buckles. So yeah, going to leave because the buckles are silver, not gold. So I'll leave the white of the paper as the buckles. And I'll do like probably 2 layers on each of these. Because I want to get darker shadows as well on the black. Because it is black like patent leather, it's just gorgeous. I won't be as dark as that, but it won't ever get that dark but on my painting, but it will. Now that the brow band is, when I finish my sentence, I get distracted. So it won't be as dark as the patent leather, but it will have sort of different, stronger tones in it, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. And I'm just using what paint I have already. That first tone, his boots are black. That chest strap's black. The horses are grey, so they won't have actually any colour on them. They'll have a little bit of blue in their shadow areas, and that's all. Doesn't matter if I've gone over the silver a little bit there. His boots are black. There we go. And then, and the watercolour is the fastest bit for me. Like I find it's, and that's why also watercolour is great for plein air, because it's so fast and it's so easy. Oops, and I just realised that's supposed to be blue, so that's fine. Okay, having a look. His helmet is dark. Alright. Now, having a look. I've got to do around the hub of this, around the wheel, sorry, of this wheel there. Can't see the other wheel in the background. Alright, having a look. Now, I'm going to mix up an even stronger, it's exactly the same, so I might go a bit of indigo actually, a bit of indigo and a bit of burnt umber to make a stronger black. So indigo and burnt umber. Check that on my bit of paper. Yep. Makes a stronger black, and while that's still a little bit damp, so indigo and burnt umber, and I'm just going to go around with a stronger tone now. Not solidly all over the whole thing, but in areas that I see that are darker. So around the edge here, the front edge of that strap, like that. Then it's in shadow under here completely, so draw that in, and you can see it starts to help it pop a little bit. Now it's darkest underneath there, and around the front, that strap, it's dark. Under there, under his saddle, his stirrup iron, or stirrup leather rather, and the front of that boot, or the back of that boot's dark, and the sole, like that. Same on the other side. You can see the sole and the inside of his boot is dark, like that. Then come around the bottom of this yoke on this horse. Like that. Okay, having a look. And I'm just going to wet my brush and drag that a little bit to make it not look like such just a line. So I literally just wet my brush and drag that out a fraction. And it'll dry like maybe two tones lighter. That's, you got to allow that with watercolour. It always dries fractionally lighter than when you put it on the paper. And come down here. Alright, I can draw in that rein. And then that rein. Like that, because that connects to that second fella. Watering, thank you for the raid. Thank you. Good old fashioned raid, awesome. So shout out at Watering. Hang on, at whoops, pressing all the buttons. At Waltering. How are you? Thank you for the raid. Hello and welcome. I'm Jen. I'm a wildlife artist that's venturing into scenes and things. So yeah, I was so inspired watching Trooping of the Colour last night, which was your yesterday morning, that I just had to draw a scene from it. So I screenshot watching the video on a screenshot. And thought, I'm going to draw the carriage. I'm going to draw the king's carriage, the king and queen in, and the horses. So how were you? What were you working on? Thank you so much. So I've started off with the pencil sketch, then I've worked up to ink, and now I'm doing washes. You're from the future? I am. It is Sunday lunchtime here, nearly 1 o'clock in the afternoon here. So where are you from, and what were you working on, doll? And thank you so much. If you want to pop a link to whatever you were working on in the chat, I would love that, because I would love to. I'm really bad at technology, but I will show your work with my iPad. So I would love to see what you were working on. From Maryland. Nice. Lovely. That's what I love about Twitch and YouTube and stuff. You just meet people from all over the world. I've got so many friends from all different parts of the planet, and I love it. I get to sort of travel in my mind with you guys. Oh, awesome. Okay, hang on. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my Instagram, because I know I can do it if I press left screen, but I've messed up my screen stuff, so Waltering drawings. So then I'm going to go here, and I've got to go search, Waltering, Waltering, Waltering draws? Yes. Oh, wow! Awesome. Okay, so I have to do it this way because I'm really bad at technology. So I've got my iPad. Wow! That is gorgeous. I love dragons. Oh my god, Waltering, that is gorgeous. Okay, like. I always forget to like, but don't forget to like. Get over here. You don't want to go in there. Awesome. Oh, look at him. Oh no. He's having a bit of a tummy ache. My pleasure, Dale. This is good. Ah, look at him. Oh my god, you know, this morning I was thinking I was going to draw Snoopy. And that just reminds me of Snoopy sitting on his little doggy box. That's so cool. Beautiful work, mate. Beautiful ink work. Wow. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Hang on, follow. Follow me. There we go. Oh, you've even got a little kingfisher. Awesome. Gorgeous, gorgeous work, doll. Okay, I can just scroll. I love ink. I love ink. I love ink. I love ink. Look at that. Oh, he's cool. He's very cool. Gorgeous work. My pleasure, doll. Everyone pop a follow. Please pop a follow, because that is tremendous work. Much appreciated. These are all viewer requests that I do in my search book. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. That is very cool. You're very adventurous and very brave and beautiful detail. Like, oh, I love ink. That's what I was just discussing. I was just raided, and the Can't Asian does beautiful ink work as well. And I was just saying, you know, ink is my happy place. Ink is very definitely. I've done a lot of watercolor over the years, but ink is my happy place. So, and I love looking at it. I love seeing people's drawing techniques. Like looking at your drawings, I could look at them for hours and just look at every line, see how you've done it. It's magical. Been a lot of fun getting comfy with ink work since around November. Have you only been at it for a little while? Wow. God, you're doing so well. Did you not, you did ink before that, didn't you? Or are you really that new to ink? Wow, because you're gorgeous. Your work's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, doll. So I'm going to go indigo again and burnt umber. And I'm going to, because I've got to strengthen up. I've been drawing my whole life. Oh, yeah, okay, me too. But mostly just pencil sketches. Then I did digital for several years. Oh, cool. Cool, cool. Yeah, I play a little tiny bit with digital on my iPad. But, yeah, I'm not very good at it. But it's fun. I enjoy it. But, yeah, I keep coming back to ink. And same, I've drawn all my life. Like, my very first memories are drawing. I don't remember a time not drawing. But I've always, you know, thought painting, you have to paint, you have to do this, and you have to do that. And I'm like, I keep coming back to my drawings. So it's lovely. And I'm so happy to find other people who are the same, like-minded. I love that. We're all sort of going through the same. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated, doll. I will pop a follow, because if I press any buttons, I'm bound to turn my screen off. Because I have. So after the stream, I will pop a follow on your channel as well. Because I'm very bad at technology. I make a mess and always press all the wrong buttons and disappear my things and lose my alerts, and yeah, I'm bad. But yeah, I've literally probably the last couple of months, I've got back to just pure ink work, and I'm so happy. Like, it's just my happy place. It's absolutely my happy place. But I love all art. understand my stream is pretty rudimentary too because I'm an idiot with tech. Oh my god. Me too, mate. Mate. You're not alone. You're not alone. Oh, I have no idea. I sort of fumble my way getting things sorted. But I fix one thing and then I break something else. Like I fixed my alerts this morning and now I can't share my screen. So it's like I fix one thing and then the other thing bloody breaks. So I can't win. Didn't realise how much I miss traditional art after doing digital. Yes. Digital's wonderful. Like I really love the iPad for the for being able to it can get really intense colours and you can just, like I did landscapes and fighter planes and sky scenes and, the brushes just make life so much easier. And I love that part of it, but there's nothing quite like being able to hang up a painting. And because even when I do digital, it's still a traditional style. Like it's still animals and things and landscapes and seascapes and I don't know how to print them to get them into a frame because I'm bad, like that bad. So I'm literally using a bit of blue with a bit of brown for the shadow on the stone because there's quite a lot of shadow on the stonework. I'm not doing it everywhere. I'm just going to leave because it's a light grey stone. So I'm just going to leave, I'm just doing the darkest bits. I've got to be careful because I've got to leave the gold on the top of the spikes of fleur-de-lis. Now, it is so satisfying. You're absolutely right. Now the fence is black. I've got to go back in and go back to my stronger shadow colour. I'm going to cut around the fleur-de-lis because this is the archway that the horses came through. Come down and around here, leave little gaps. The horses are grey, so I will not add colour to them. I will literally only add a little bit of blue to the shadows on them, and I'll use cerulean maybe baby. Not 100% decided yet. I'm just going to fill in the whole of that top part, being careful not to go over the fleur-de-lis though. I'm too scared to use a bigger brush. I've got very little tip on this one because I don't want to go over anywhere. It's not black. Didn't realise. Yes. Yeah, I love traditional. This is nothing as soothing as just disappearing into a drawing. But it's very unforgiving if you mess it up. But I love with digital, I love the guts. Like you can get real gutsy paintings. Real depth and feeling and mood, and which I find I love watercolor because it's simple and it works with my brain. But I tried oils for a while there. I have no patience for oil at all. I can't wait for it to dry. I'm way too impatient. But I love the look of oil. But yeah, way too impatient for it. But you can get the same effect with digital. So come over here, do this bit. So the spikes on the bottom are black too, so that's fine. So I'm just going to continue on with this shadowing. I can go over the fence in the background now. It's only the top bits that are lighter. And I'm using Archer's watercolour paper. It's gone a bit furball-y, and I don't know why. My paper's a little bit furball-y, which is annoying. So I can go over the top of the whole lot. And it dries this paper also because it's, what do you call it? It's smooth, hot press. So it dries really fast. I find that hot press water paper dries faster than cold press. I have no experience with painting of any kind. Makes me super nervous. You just got to be brave and go for it. Be brave and go rogue. It's just practice, and you're gonna wreck stuff. You're gonna, it just happens. But oh, you know what I haven't done? I'll fix it after. I've wrecked so many pieces. It just happens. You just got to go for it. But I keep coming back to ink, like we were just saying. Though we keep coming back to ink anyway, because ink's my happy place. And I do struggle with colour. Inks, I cope with ink a lot better. Oops, I've got to come down here. So I've got a bit of a puddle on the bottom of that door. It's got to smooth that out a bit. And these shadows in here. It's a bit darker underneath. And in the bottom of the wheel there. Yeah, I'll use my colour identifier from the phone in this piece, but did not go with that real light stone. Yes! Yeah, it can be hard. It can be really hard. Okay, I'm literally gonna, I've got to be careful not to go over his tail, this horse's tail. Just fill in mostly. Now, it's lighter up the top there. That's all in shadow, so everything down here is in shadow. I can just come onto the ground here, to the paving, behind the wheel, and then I'm going to make up for in there. I'm going to go a bit more indigo, bit more burnt umber, so a bit more, and I'm going to come into here into the darkest darks, and I'm going to go over, still being careful to cut around the fleur-de-lis. Just to get the darker shadows in there. All the way down. I've got to be a bit quicker than I'm being because it's all going to dry with lines in it, and I've got to be a bit careful. So I've got to try and work fast because it is drying quite fast. Just cut around the... I missed that. I got that one. Doesn't matter. Not the end of the world. And then come around here. So you can see this is like layer number 2 on the background now. And then I'll go an even stronger, slightly more pigment, less water, stronger, thicker, onto the next layer. I can go over the top of that because the shadow gets deeper into the background. I can go over all that metalwork because all that metalwork, I can go over that the final end bit. I'll go over that with the strongest dark. Okay. Alright, it's pretty late here, so I should get some sleep. But glad to found you on here and look forward to seeing more of your stuff. Thank you, Waltering. Thank you so much for raiding. Thank you for hanging out. And yes, have a lovely night. It's lovely to see your art. It's gorgeous, very inspiring. So another shout out to Waltering. Shout out. Shout out. Whoops, I pressed all the wrong buttons because I'm a nong. Shout out at Waltering. And thank you again, Dale. I'm looking forward to seeing your channel as well, Dale. Looking very forward to it. So I'm just going to pop in some more dark. So I'm going into my original dark. And anywhere I can see that's super dark, I'm just going to go over the top now. So it's a little bit more pigment, a little bit less ink, less water, sorry. More watercolour, less water to create the darker darks. While it's still damp, it'll flow together with everything else nicely. And see, then you get all different sort of shadows, different bits of shadows. I'm also going to be careful not to rest my hand in it. Come around the inside where the shadows are on this. And then the shadows underneath. It's a darker shadow in there. Like that. Doesn't have to be exact. I'm just going to go along the bottom of these lines because the bottom of them is more in shadow. It was quite a murky old day in England. Now, then underneath there's a shadow. So we've got 2 tones of grey. So they're exactly the same pigments, just one different mixtures of water. So it's burnt umber, and actually I used burnt umber and indigo in different mixtures. Okay, to create the darker areas. Now I'm having a look. I've got to take those lines into there. Alright, and it's super dark over the back there. So I'm going to get some more indigo, some more burnt umber. I've got to get a bit more indigo than that. That's a bit too browny. And again, dip my brush. And then come down here, this back bit, and just blop in some super darks. Because it is very dark off here. And because your shadows are never just one flat black, they're always a mixture of darks. So you keep it interesting. And I'm going to dilute that a fraction. Go wet my brush, drag that out a little bit so it's not a hard edge. Don't want hard shadows. Don't have hard edges. Shadows have soft edges, so you want to have soft edges. Unless it's a really bright sunny day, but it wasn't a bright sunny day in this reference. So now I'm going to draw the shadows under the horses. So there's a shadow under the wheels that connects everything to the ground. And you can see I'm sticking with a lot of greyish tones. I am sticking with a lot of greyish tones because I do like the grey sort of toned work. Do this concrete bit there. Got a little blob of water there. Doesn't matter. I can pick that up. Always got a bit of cloth in my hand so I can pick up any bits that end up where I don't want them. Just being careful not to get it on the white of the horses. Go into here. Just into the struts of the wheel like that. There we go. Then shadow under the hooves. The shadows come down this way. And it helps to ground everything. Like that. Okay. Now, I have no idea how I'm going to do the window. I've got into it and I'm like, oh hell, how am I going to do that? But anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So I'm going to go into my reds now. And I'm going to start. I'm going to draw the red on this gentleman in his beautiful livery. On his jacket. And I've got almost pure pigment. Just the tiniest little bit of water. And his tails come down the back. Being careful to leave his little collar. He's got gold on his collar, so I don't want to go onto that. Again with this fellow. Now the king has red on as well. So I'm having a look. I can't see the detail on him, but I'm just going to draw in his red. Because it's his red, and his hat is black and I can't see it detailed. The Queen's wearing white. So I'm sort of going to pick my way around carefully. I've got to do the wheels now, and the inner rim of the wheels is red. It's all pretty much dry now. So the tyres are black, but the inner rims are red. Like that. And then carefully, I'll go over this with another stronger red, like this will dry back a couple of tones. But I will go over it a bit stronger on the shadow sides of the red. So I usually do like 3 layers. There'll be 3 layers. So there's the first layer, which is your base layer. Then I add shadows, and then I go darkest darks. That's how I usually work it in my mind. I always start off with the lightest layer and work to dark. And the hubs are gold. Did not notice that before. So I'll have to use orange or yellow. Probably yellow. I won't use a metallic. I do have metallic colours, but I won't, because I don't want it to look too shiny when it's finished. Right, the inner hub is red, so I can do that. I can just go around the inside of that like that. Like that. Okay, then again, the inner hub, inner wheel is red, and because that initial layer was so light, the red's going over it, so that's fine. And I will go over that with some stronger dark as well towards the end. Or I could even go over the darkest darks with ink, just ink wash. I might even do that. Do an ink wash, because that's the darkest dark you'll get. I can get it darker than I can get any watercolour. So, I might do that for the darkest darks on the wheels and stuff, and I'll brush it on gently, very gently. Just filling in the spokes on the wheel. There we go. And the same on these wheels. Now there's a lot of red detailing down under these horses at the front. I can't even see what it all is, but it's all in there. So I'll just draw it all in, mark it all in with my brush, like that, because there is a lot of it. Like that. And then you can just see the spokes on that other wheel. Like that. There is another wheel in there that I can't see. Okay, I can see there's a bit more black stuff going on down the back here, so I'm going to just paint it in. Whoops. Down here like this. Rather than just adding to the drawing, I'll just continue that on and around. Because I can't see if they have a wheel hub. They don't seem to have a wheel hub. Not a hub, an arch over the wheel. So that's just continued that on a bit more than it needed to have. Like that. There we go. Okay, now having a quick look. So, for the glass, because they're behind shadow, so I'm just going to get clean water, cerulean blue, and I'm going to go over the glass. I'm just going to do a wash of cerulean blue over the glass, because it just puts everything in there into the distance, like that, like that. So that cerulean blue is beautiful for, I'm just going to go over everything in the background. Like that. There we go. So that puts Queen Camilla and King Charles into the background. She was wearing all cream, so there's no colour on her. And then a bit more cerulean, because the edges of the glass are darker than the middle. There's shadows and things like that onto the inside. Come in there like that. Right, there we go. So there we've got some shadows in the glass. Whew, okay, I'm happy with that. Now, this horse has also got red trim on his saddle blanket. Red and gold. So I'm going to do the red trim on there. Like that. And that comes all the way down to the front. Like that. Then it's gold. This one, he has red trim on his saddle pad. You can't really see it now. This guy, he's got a gold jacket with red piping. So I'm just going to do the red on the stripes that he's got. Like that. And then on that sleeve, same. You can just see the edge of them on the other side. Like that. Very fine red pinstripes down the front. Like that. And then gold. I'll let that dry a little bit. Having a look. For gold, I'm just going to use yellow. Yellowy orange. I've got a cadmium yellow. That'll be fine for the gold. So I've just got to get that onto my palette. Get it quite thick. And then, because these guys have got gold trim of their hats, gold on their lapels, like that, and then the hubs are gold, so I'm just using cadmium yellow. I will go over it with another layer as well. Cadmium yellow on there, the gold trim around the top of the carriage, around the edges of the doors. That's why you work light to dark, because you can still go over it a little bit, even if you get, because watercolour is translucent. So you will always see the underlying colour, but if you work light to dark, you can always go darker over the top if you make a mistake. Now this whole bottom side of this is gold. Like that. And then this beautiful little filigree bit on the top of the carriage is gold. So I'm just going to fill that all in. And the hat, the crown on top, is burgundy and gold. Or sorry, royal blue and gold it is. So I'll just fill in these bits. And then this is gold. What colour is this? The stand is gold. And the top is royal blue. So get my... I don't have a royal blue, but I'm going to go an ultramarine. I reckon ultramarine, or no, ultramarine's no good. I'll go cobalt. It's a stronger blue. There we go. Now, these gates are all gold as well. So I'm going to go back into my cadmium. And so the fleur-de-lis are all gold. And also this little ornamentation. I think they're gold. Or are they silver? No, they're gold. From the photo that I've got, they look gold. So I'm doing them gold. I hope I'm right, but it doesn't really matter. It's a painting. It's a bit of fun, eh? Bit of fun. So just fill them all in. A little fleur-de-lis. Keep going around there. Oops. So this is 2.5 hours worth of work from still. Oops, I smudged it a bit. Doesn't matter. That's why I love these. These are silver black velvet brushes, and they're really good for. They hold their tip. I just went a bit sideways and messed it up, but it doesn't matter. But they do. These I've got to get some more because I've worn them out. I've had them for years, and I wear them out. But and I use them for ink and everything. They're great for, like, I've used them for ink washes. As long as you clean them straight away, they're okay. You can use them for your ink. Yeah, I've actually used this one for ink washes. It's going to come down here like that. Okay, now I'm having a look. So where are we now? So this fellow, his jacket is gold. So I will wash his whole. I can go over the red because that'll just soften the red that I've already got on there. But you'll see the red through because the red is stronger pigment. Just got to leave his medals a little bit and his white glove. There we go. So that's him pretty much. Jodhpurs are white, so I won't worry about doing anything to those. Now, the horses. I'm going to go cobalt blue, super diluted. Cobalt blue, super diluted for the shadow on the horses. So, because they're white ponies, white horses. So I'm just going to do the shadows on the underside of the legs, anywhere I can see that's darkest. So it's very diluted cerulean blue. You can see it's got a little bit of grey in it from the dirty water, but that's not the end of the world. Okay, and these horses have got the most magnificent coats, I have to say. They are beautiful. They're impeccable. Impeccable. Now come down the front of this leg. Shadows under here. Onto the chest. Down on that leg. Like that. Under his chin. Like that. Down onto his face a little bit. Not his whole face, just parts of it. Inner his ears are darker. I can use a really dark in there. Like that. Then he's got a shadow coming down this side of his face. Right. And then I can do another layer of shadow. I add a bit of grey to it. Come down the inside there. He's got shadow on his chest. Shadow on his tummy. Darker into there. We can use a bit of the previous colour that I've already got. Drop that in there. And onto the inner part of his thigh. Like that. There we go. Go back to my cerulean. Oh, sorry, cobalt. Very diluted. Go into the shadow areas. This horse is a lot more in shadow. And I can always lift it off with my bit of sponge, bit of cloth in my hand. I always have a bit of kitchen cloth in my hand to lifting watercolour off. Like that. And those legs, the back legs of this horse, are completely in shadow. So I'll just darken those off. The inside of that leg. Okay. Having a look. Also, I'll add a bit of the grey around his eye. He's got a darker muzzle. Add some stronger shadow tones on his chest. Coming down his leg. Because they're always darker on the inside at the bottom. Like that. So you want the contrast. Now I'm going to actually make a stronger shadow. I'm going to go a purpley colour. I'm going to make a purpley shadow colour for the inside of the horse's legs. Go blue, bit of red, make a shadow purple, and drop that in to the darkest darks. And both of these back legs on this horse are darkest dark for the shadows, because they're not seeing any light because they're on the inside and underneath. Like that. Under there. Then down that side of his chest, the inside of that leg, that hoof, and everything is dark. Okay, on this horse, same. Shadow down the inside. Go onto the hoof. Shadow on the chest on the underside there. I'm going to wash it all out. Blend that down. Because I love purples for shadows as well. Blues and purples are great for shadows. He's got shadow onto his knee. Shadow under his belly. Stronger shadow. So a bit more purpley. Like that. Go into the darkest darks on the underside of that leg. Like that. On the underside of that leg, and the hooves are dark. There we go. Got to darken that leg right up. Having a look. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. Quite happy with that. Now, the saddle is royal blue, so I'm just going to go cobalt, pure cobalt, onto the saddle pad here. And it's almost pure pigment. It's a very little amount of water. I'm going to go over that top of that crown on the top as well. That emblem I've just realised is gold, so I better go over that with the yellow in a minute. And there we go, and then alright, having a look. And they've got a blue brow band on their bridles. It's royal blue, like their saddle pad. Like that. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. It's looking alright. And I'm actually going to use that purple tone for the shadows underneath. I get a bit of red in there. And I'm going to strengthen up these shadows underneath it with the purple as well. Actually, a bit more red. Bit more red in there. That's better. So I want the strongest shadows. Contacting the horses with the ground. Like that. And the wheels touching the ground. There we go. See the shadows go under there. There we go. I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to add a little bit of this purple into the shadow in the background here as well. Because why not? And it'll make that even darker in a couple of spots where it needs to be a bit darker. Like that. There we go. And I'm having a quick look. And I'm going to go over these poles. I'm going to strengthen the background using my brush. So I'm going to go indigo. I'm going to use indigo because I love indigo. Because indigo is a very dark, beautiful watercolour colour. It's almost black. I'm going to go over the metal work because it's wrought iron and it's dark. So I need to make that a bit stronger. So I'll go that. Like that, and it comes to the ground. Doesn't matter if they're not exactly straight. Because that's what art is. Okay. It's not a photograph. So I'm just defining this metal work now. It doesn't have to be completed, it can just go down and create the illusion of it going down like that. And then into the background, I'll have a couple of bits coming down there, and across here, like that. Then having another look, there's a bit that goes across here. Hello, Nervous, how are you, doll? How are you? So I'm just finishing, just coming to the finishing touches on this painting that I've watched the trooping of the colour yesterday, and I was completely inspired. Completely inspired. So I had to do this picture. So now I'm going to strengthen up the tyre. Delighted to finally be getting over this sickness that's been kicking my butt. Oh, good. I'm glad you're feeling better, doll. I'm good. I haven't streamed for a couple of weeks because I've been working extra hours, which has been great, but I've missed streaming. So, but I've had lots and lots of work. So I'm glad you're feeling better. And getting on top of it, doll. That's great news. So I'm just going to, whoops, today. So I've got a bit of my blue into the shadow on the bottom. Didn't let that dry enough, but that's okay. Let's go over the top. Just going to follow that wheel around. I can do the trim on the back of that tyre. Like that. On the front of the wheel. Only thing is the cough. It's decided it wants to move in, not even playing. Well, there's something, I heard it, someone was talking about it the other day, called the 100-day cough that people have been getting. So just watch out that you haven't got that, doll. I think it's called the 100-day cough. So I'm just going to pop in suggesting the back wheel because I can't really see it, but it's there. So I better just plop that back in so it almost looks like it's there. And I reckon this is not far from being done. I'm just going to use indigo on this gent's helmet at the back. I better give him skin tone. So, and skin tone, all skin tone is yellow ochre and a bit of red. Yellow ochre and a bit of red to make a skin tone. And I'm just going to test that on my bit of paper so it's not too strong. Nope, that's alright. And I'm just going to pop that skin tone on there. I did the two fellas at the back with ink, but I'm just going to go over them a little bit with the skin tone. I've been in the ER twice and they've tested me for everything under the sun, including... Oh, God, okay, wow. That's no good. That's no good at all, Dale. No good at all. But as long as you're feeling better... So I've just got to do the glass in that window. Okay. Having a look. I reckon, and I've got to do the stripes on these little medals. Having a look. I'll darken the hooves. Because the hooves are quite dark. Like that. There we go. And I reckon I'm going to just darken up these shadows a fraction more using whatever I've got on my palette. This art is gorgeous. Thank you, Nervous. I was just so inspired watching Trooping of the Colour that I just wanted to do it. I wanted to have a go. So I was so totally inspired and mesmerised by the whole gloriousness of it all. So I'm glad you like it. So we are gonna, I reckon I'm done. I reckon I'm gonna call that done now. I'm gonna sign it. Sign it down here. And it's a great memory to have a piece of art for such a wonderful occasion. So sign it down there. 2024. And let's have a look. Who is streaming? Who have we got on? And we're gonna raid someone, guys. So I would love it if you'd come with me, whoever's on. I'm just going to find my Twitch, see who's on, press all the right buttons. Yep, there we go. Hang on. And then, why is it doing that? Home? Huh? Channel? Okay, I'm going to have to do it on my computer. I can't do it over there. So, can I? Hang on. How do I go to Twitch? Just got to find it on here. Twitch. And Twitch. And let's find someone to raid. There we go, that's better. Oh, okay, we've got lots of people. Everyone's playing games. But let's go and raid. I'm just going to check this channel out. I don't know who it is. Oh, okay, let's go. It looks, they said they're painting badly, but it's gorgeous work. Let's go and, oh, they're taking a break. Let's not. Okay, we're going to find someone who's on. Whoop. He's German. I want someone who's possibly English speaking. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. Looking. Okay, let's go and raid Sharp Balloon. I have no idea what they're doing, but we're going to go and raid them. So / because why not? Let's go rogue. I'm in an ad, but let's go. Raid Sharp Balloons. if I can type well. Sharp balloons. And I will go over there for a raid. So / raid. Let's see if that works. Hopefully it works. Is it going to work? No. What happened? Oh, so it's / I did the wrong thing. Hang on. / No, that's a question mark. / raid. Sharp balloons. And I will see you all over there. Go. No. Why is it not letting me do it? / raid. Raid. Sharp. Is it capital? I've got to use capitals, do I? Sharp. Balloons. Okay, that should work now. So hopefully I will see you over there. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. So I will see you over there. Thank you for hanging out, guys. Have an awesome day.